The Lotus Sutra, Chapter 24, Wonderful Voice Bodhisattva. At that time, Shakyamuni Buddha emitted a beam of light illuminating Buddha worlds, equivalent in number to the sands of 108 trillion myriads of Ganges. Beyond those many worlds, there was a world named Adorned with Pure Light, and in that land there was a Buddha named Wisdom King of the Pure Flower Constellation Tathagata. Surrounded and revered by a great multitude of incalculable, countless bodhisattvas, he taught the Dharma to them. In the land adorned with pure light, at that time, there was a bodhisattva named Wonderful Voice, who from long ago had planted many roots of virtue, and had made offerings to and been associated with innumerable hundreds of thousands of billions of Buddhas. He had gained every kind of profound wisdom, and he had attained the concentration of the wonderful banner sign, the concentration of the Dharma flower, the concentration of pure virtue, the concentration of the Constellation King's sport, the concentration of being without conditions, the concentration of the seal of wisdom, the concentration that enables one to understand the words of all beings, the concentration that collects all blessings, the concentration of purity, the concentration of the play of divine powers, the concentration of the wisdom torch, the concentration of the adorned king, the concentration of pure light, the concentration of the pure storehouse. When the beam of light from Shakyamuni Buddha shone on his body, he immediately said to Wisdom King of the Pure Flower Constellation Buddha, quote, "World-honored one, I should go to visit the world, to worship, associate with, and make offerings to Shakyamuni Buddha, and to see the Dharma Prince Manjushri Bodhisattva, and Bodhisattva's Medicine King, Courageous Giver, Constellation King Flower, Intent on Superior Practice, Adornment King, and Lord of Medicine." Then Wonderful Voice Bodhisattva, without rising from his seat and without stirring his body, entered into a concentration. By the power of his concentration, 84,000 clusters of treasured lotus flowers with stems of jambunada gold, leaves of white silver, stamens of diamond, and calyxes of Kimshuka gems magically appeared on Holy Eagle Peak, not far from Shakyamuni's Dharma seat. Then Manjushri, son of the Dharma King, seeing those lotus flowers, said to the Buddha, quote, "World-honored one, for what reason does this auspicious sign appear here?" Shakyamuni Buddha then said to Manjushri, "In order to make offerings to me, associate with me, and worship me. Wonderful Voice Bodhisattva, the Great One, wants to come to this world with a company of 84,000 bodhisattvas from the land of the Buddha, Wisdom King of the Pure Flower Constellation. He also wants to make offerings to and hear the Dharma Flower Sutra." Manjushri asked the Buddha, "World-honored one, what roots of virtue has the Bodhisattva planted? What blessings has he cultivated, that he is able to have such power of great divine faculties? What concentration does he practice? I beg you to teach us the name of this concentration. We too want to practice it diligently, for by practicing this concentration, we may be able to see that Bodhisattva, his physical characteristics and size, his bearing, and his behavior. We beg you, world-honored one, to use your divine faculties and powers and have this Bodhisattva come here so we can see him." Then Shakyamuni Buddha said to Manjushri, "The Tathagata abundant treasures, so long extinct, should have him appear for you." Immediately, Abundant Treasures Buddha said to that Bodhisattva, "Come, good son, Manjushri, son of the Dharma King, wants to see you." Then Wonderful Voice Bodhisattva disappeared from his land, setting out together with 84,000 bodhisattvas. The lands through which they passed shook in the 6 different ways. Lotus flowers of the 7 precious materials rained down in all the lands, and hundreds of thousands of heavenly instruments sounded spontaneously. Taking his place on a platform made of the 7 precious materials, he rose up into the air to a height of 7 tala trees above the ground. Surrounded by a multitude of revering bodhisattvas, he came to Holy Eagle Peak in this world. When he arrived, he came down from the platform of 7 precious materials. Taking a necklace worth hundreds of thousands, he went to where Shakyamuni was and presented the necklace, saying, quote, "World-honored one, Wisdom King of the Pure Flower Constellation Buddha wants to inquire about the world-honored one. Are your ailments and troubles few? Is your daily life and practice going smoothly? Are the 4 elements in you in harmony? Are the affairs of the world tolerable? Are living beings easy to save? Are they not excessively greedy, angry, foolish, jealous, and arrogant? Are they not lacking in proper regard for their parents? Are they not disrespectful to novice monks? Do they not have wrong views and inadequate goodness? Are their 5 emotions out of control?" Pure Flower Constellation Buddha also wants to inquire about Tathagata abundant treasures. Is he comfortable and of few worries? Will he be content to stay long? World-honored one, I would now like to see the body of abundant treasures Buddha. I beg you, world-honored one, to let me see him. Then Shakyamuni Buddha said to Abundant Treasures Buddha, "This Bodhisattva Wonderful Voice wants to see you." Abundant Treasures Buddha said to Wonderful Voice, "Well done, well done. You have been able to come here to make offerings to Shakyamuni Buddha, to hear the Dharma Flower Sutra, and to see Manjushri and the others." Then Flower Virtue Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, this Wonderful Voice Bodhisattva, what roots of goodness has he planted? What merits did he earn to give him such divine powers?" Flower Virtue, this Wonderful Voice Bodhisattva has already made offerings to and been close to innumerable Buddhas. Long ago he planted roots of virtue and met hundreds of billions of myriads of Buddhas, as numerous as the sands of the Ganges. Flower Virtue, you see merely the one body of Wonderful Voice Bodhisattva, which is here. But this Bodhisattva appears in many different bodies, everywhere teaching this sutra for the sake of the living. Sometimes he appears as King Brahma, or as a great general, or he appears as an elder, as an ordinary citizen, as a high official, or as a monk, a nun, a layman, a laywoman. Or he appears as the wife of an elder, or householder, or the wife of a high official. Or he appears as a human or non-human being, and so on, and teaches this sutra. Those who are in a purgatory, or are hungry spirits or animals, and all those who are in difficult circumstances can be saved. Flower Virtue, this Wonderful Voice Bodhisattva is able to save and protect all the living in this world. By transforming himself and appearing in these various ways in this world, he teaches this sutra to all the living. But his divine faculties, his transformative powers, and his wisdom are never diminished by this. This Bodhisattva uses many kinds of wisdom to illuminate the world, so that every one of the living gains appropriate knowledge. And he does this in all the worlds in every direction, numerous as the sands of the Ganges. For those who need the form of a Shravaka to be liberated, he appears in the form of a Shravaka and teaches the Dharma. For those who need the form of a Pratyeka Buddha to be liberated, he appears in the form of a Pratyeka Buddha and teaches the Dharma. For those who need the form of a Bodhisattva to be liberated, he appears in the form of a Bodhisattva and teaches the Dharma. For those who need the form of a Buddha to be liberated, he appears in the form of a Buddha and teaches the Dharma. In these various ways, according to what is needed for liberation, he appears in various forms. Even if it is appropriate to enter extinction for the sake of liberation, he shows himself as one who enters extinction. Flower virtue. Such is the power of great divine faculties and wisdom attained by wonderful Voice Bodhisattva, the Great One. While this chapter on the comings and goings of wonderful Voice Bodhisattva was being taught, Flower virtue Bodhisattva attained the concentration termed Dharma flower.